And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Escape the Room, The Cursed Dollhouse. Now, just to start off with, this is an escape room game. It's a game that you play once. Sort of, I'll get back to that in a second. But I want to say that there's no spoilers in this review. In fact, I'm not going to show you much of what's in here. I'm going to show you some pictures I took of the game when we first set it up. So to that end, once you take off the cover here, you're going to build a dollhouse with the box and the box back and some pieces inside the box. And they build this full-fledged dollhouse, which is about the size of this box twice over and a little higher and stuff. It's kind of cool. And then there's little things you'll add, maybe a rug and things, some things you even build and put in there out of cardboard. And then there's some stuff that's already stuck in the box. Now, to that end, this game comes with an online thing where you can print out some stuff that gets destroyed in this game, because as an escape room, things get destroyed and you can reset it up. I cannot imagine going to that kind of effort. It seems insurmountable to me that you could play this more than once. I think if someone said, hey, I want to play it, and I'd be like, all right, I'm going to print everything off and do this and put it back, I'd be like, wow, that's probably hours of work. I'll just buy you another one. But you can do that. So Escape the Room, The Cursed Dollhouse is a game in which players are cooperatively trying to escape from the dollhouse. And I don't want to say more, but it is a spooky story. So if you don't like creepy dolls, you're definitely going to want to stay away from this one. Interestingly enough, this is from Think Fun, who has done these escape room style games before, like Escape from Stargazer's Manor. And those games have been very, very family friendly. I'm not saying this one's not family friendly. I don't think there's anything in here that's per se, R-rated or anything, but it's very spooky. Young kids will get maybe creeped out by it. And again, if you're kind of spooked out by dolls. The cover kind of tells you what kind of game it is. But it is at its core, it's an escape room game where you're going to go from room to room in this dollhouse and try to solve puzzles using a wheel to solve them, which is very similar to the wheel in the exit games, actually. I will say I thought the wheel in this game was incredibly fiddly to use. Because you are spinning it to different symbols and then you unlock it, and I just found that it kept sliding underneath, and when you play it you can see a little bit more what I'm talking about. I wasn't that impressed with the wheel and the solving the problems with this. This also has an online hint system, which I know very well. So let's jump into that part. This is, and again, this is extremely subjective and will be from player to player, but this is the hardest escape room game that I have done. That wasn't one of the ones from Kickstarter that's like, I got stuff in a box, I don't even know where to start. This one I knew where to start. I had to use the hint system on every puzzle except maybe two, and one of the two puzzles I didn't use the hint system on, I got dreadfully wrong. Even with the hint system, there were some puzzles in here that when I knew how to solve them, I still struggled to solve them. And by that, I mean, the best way to describe that would be, without spoiling anything, let's say, for example, a puzzle said, hey, the solution to this is to do Sudoku. And I'm like, oh, okay, great, that's how you solve it. Oh man, I'm not good at Sudoku. That's how I felt. Several puzzles in here, like, oh, this is how you solve it. Oh, well, that's just hard to do, period. Whatever it is. Sometimes it was mechanical, sometimes it was this, and there's a lot of that going on in here. So it's really hard, and I struggle with it, and it doesn't have a higher rating for that reason, because I like a challenge. This one felt overly challenging to me. The second thing is, on a positive level, being able to peel stuff off the wall, take something off, look under, the physical aspect of this is awesome. So great there. But this game on it, it says 1 to 4 players. 3, I played it with 3, and that was extremely crowded. Actually, I played it with 4 for about half of the game. The game, you can pause, right, from any room to any room. And I believe that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, I think there's 5 rooms, and then a final puzzle is like 6 puzzles. It took us a little over 2 hours, and that's what it says here. It says 2+ hours. It took us a little over 2 hours, again with me using lots of hint systems. And the problem is the whole house faces one direction. you're going to need to look in these rooms. I have never used the flashlight on my phone as much as when I went through this one looking at stuff. But because of that, you're looking in a room. Yes, you'll take some stuff out of the room and solve a puzzle. And yes, each room usually has 3 puzzles, so it's possible that some people could work on the puzzles. It felt like we had to keep coming back and move this. The dollhouse is such a cool thing, but then you're picking up the whole dollhouse and looking in and trying not to knock the stuff out of the rooms you haven't been in yet. I found that the whole dollhouse and the building and stuff, I think, was cooler in theory than it actually was in practice. So, at the end of the day, the story's fine. Like I said, a creepy story about dolls, and you'll find out more as you play through it. The puzzles are unique and innovative-ish. Some of the puzzles I thought, oh, okay, I've seen this before. But like I said, they're difficult. This is not a game for kids. It says 13 plus on here. But I mean, I played it with my older teenage children, and we all sat and struggled. Like, there was some puzzles I said, I can't do this. Pass it to the next person. They couldn't do it. Pass it to the next person. They couldn't do it. And we don't often run into that. We often run into a puzzle or two we can't do in these escape room games. In this one, running into it in every room after a while got a little overwhelming for us. But that may be a positive if you're watching. You may want to play something with that much challenge to it. So, with that being said, I don't think it's a bad escape room by any means. My rating's a little lower, if only because, you know, I have like a sweet spot for challenges, and I think this one went a little bit beyond that. But it's still a cool, innovative idea. It's a big box. The fact that it builds into a dollhouse, and there's a lot of physicality of pulling things off, and a little bit of manipulating objects and stuff. And there was a cool feature in here, which I have seen in a non-escape room game that I thought was also really cool in that game too. And if you've played both games, will know exactly what I'm talking about. But other than that, it's an interesting game. And if you like hard escape rooms and you like creepy dolls, then this one's for you. That's Escape the Room, The Cursed Dollhouse. Dice Tower Judgment, hard and creepy, but you might like it.